You are listening to 40 Weeks with Vanessa Merton, host of the Pregnancy Podcast. Thank you for tuning in to the 40 Weeks podcast. Welcome to week 17. Your avocado-sized baby is growing this week to the size of a pear. From crown to rump, your baby measures about 5 inches or 13 centimeters and weighs about 5 ounces or 140 grams. They are putting on weight, and by the time your little one is born, fat is going to account for 2/3 of their body weight. Your baby's little heart is now regulated by the brain to beat 140 to 150 times per minute, which is about twice as fast as your heartbeat. And that little one is continuing to practice their sucking and swallowing skills to prepare for breastfeeding. Although their eyes are still fused shut, they have eyelashes now, and within the next week, they will have complete fingerprints. We talked in week 16 about your baby being able to hear. Loud noises can actually startle a baby in the womb, although things like your dog barking will get them used to those sounds before they even get to meet your pet in person. Your uterus is now about 2 inches below your belly button. You are probably showing and might have strangers coming up to you and touching your belly in the coming months. If that bothers you, please do not hesitate to speak up and ask that people do not touch you, in a nice way, of course. I think people mean well, they just don't understand personal space and boundaries. You are probably seeing an increase in discharge. Not so fun, but that means everything is working as it should be. If it is bothersome, you can always wear a thin panty liner, and that can help. If you are working, you might want to think about how much time you will be taking off for maternity leave. In the United States, paid time off varies greatly depending on your company and the state which you live in. The first major step to finding out what your maternity leave will look like is to get in touch with your human resources department. If you work for a small company without an HR department, you will need to talk to a supervisor or your boss. Make sure that you know what your company offers and what your compensation looks like. This is not something that you want to have any misunderstandings about. Once you know what your job offers, you can check to see if there are any state programs for maternity leave. You can listen to more about this and some other things to prepare for baby at pregnancypodcast.com/episode 7. Tip for dad. There is a counterpart to maternity leave for dad, and this is called paternity leave. I really urge dads to take some time off when your baby arrives. It is such a special time for your family, and the first few weeks are a major adjustment period. Check with your employer and with your state if you are in the United States. If you're in another country, check with the government agencies there and find out what is available, how your compensation works, what you can afford, and plan for some time off. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Show notes for this episode can be found at pregnancypodcast.com/week 17. Next week, your baby's nervous system is maturing, and until then, I wish you the very best on your pregnancy journey. There are so many awesome resources available to you at pregnancypodcast.com, and you can sign up with your email address and your due date to get a weekly email with a link to the episode for your specific week every week in your inbox. I look forward to seeing you in the Pregnancy Podcast Facebook group, which is a great place not only to connect with some other parents-to-be, but also to be able to ask questions and get answers specific to things that you are dealing with in planning for your pregnancy and birth.